Hi everyone, I'm Brenda, a Year 4 Chemical Engineering undergraduate from NTU. I'm in the Jia Ying Scholars Program, which is a program that provides opportunities for undergrads to pursue research from very early on in their academic life. Currently, I'm attached to Prof Cho's lab as an undergraduate researcher, and I've actually been working with Prof Cho since about 3 years ago as a freshman. Since then, I've had many amazing opportunities working with different people from all walks of life, but all with the same infectious passion for research. I remember in my first year, I was given a project on antimicrobial lipids, and I was lucky enough to work with so many people from Prof Cho's lab, including a few PhD students who actually guided me through my first time doing fluorescence spectroscopy, QCMD characterization techniques, and they even guided me through any doubts that I had about the key concepts for the project. All the way through to data processing, interpreting data, they really were just so approachable and so helpful. I think it's really rare for a year 1 undergrad to have already had so much hands-on experience in the lab, and I truly appreciate NTU and Prof Cho for having believed in me at the beginning. During that attachment, I also got to work with Dr. Joshua Jackman, who is actually now a professor at Song Kyun Kwan University. He really shaped the way that I frame my thoughts in scientific writing, and I'll always be thankful for that. And actually, just this past January of 2020, I actually got to go to SKKU in Korea itself for a research attachment at Prof Josh's lab. This was such an amazing, unforgettable experience as I was completely immersed in the lab in a completely different country, with a different culture, with different people. And over there, I actually worked on this project involving protein adsorption in non-aqueous environments. So I was involved in project planning, and I got to witness firsthand the experiments that we conducted. And I also got to look at equipment that I've never seen before in Singapore, such as the LSPR machine. I got to meet, interact with other researchers in the labs or fellow students, and it was just such an eye-opening experience as I was so inspired by how research is truly a universal team effort. And of course, we did not only work. I got to explore Seoul quite a bit, going on hikes, shopping, and had a lot of good food. Here's a photo of me at the top of Namsan, riding a horse at Yongin Folk Village. Here's a photo of me and my new friend at Gangnam. And to add more to the mix, a lot of good Korean food. It was such a fun experience that I think I was so lucky to be able to have the chance to go to Korea. Although once I came back, Korean food has never tasted the same in Singapore anymore. I'm sure many of you can relate. Flash forward to the present, now that I'm back in Singapore, I am now working in Prof Cho's lab on a project involving pollen as the next alternative to polymer synthesis. It is truly so exciting to see so much potential in a material that has the possibility of alleviating a huge global problem like plastic pollution. I think it's so great that we found a material that is not only natural but so abundant and renewable in supply that something that used to be treated as waste or as something that doesn't serve a further purpose than plant reproduction is now a potential replacement for plastic. I think that is just a demonstration of how innovation works in research and how sometimes the solutions for huge problems in this world have always been around. It's just up to us to discover the potential of these materials. And it's also so inspiring to see a lab so invested in creating materials to reverse the damage that humans have done to the earth one step at a time. And I'm just so incredibly excited to see where this project leads. At this point, I think it's important to also emphasize how amazing I think it is that NTU and professors like Prof Cho so strongly believe in allowing undergrads to step into the lab from a very early stage in their academic life. Be it through allowing students to freely approach professors, creating programs like Eureka, Jia Ying Scholars Program to provide the platform for undergrads to step into the lab as soon as possible. I think it really adds a lot of advantages for students academic life. Firstly, I think it just allows you to explore freely what are your interests. Secondly, I think it hones really important skills like report writing, independent project planning, or even just furthering your knowledge just one step more by reviewing past literature to fully understand the key concepts of your project. And last but not least, I think the most important skill that I've taken away is the communication skills that I've learned. Research, it forces you to work with different people of different backgrounds, ethnicities, nationalities, and I think it really makes a person very adaptable and even more empathetic. And as we all know, collaboration is one of the largest facets of research, and so this is really an indispensable skill. But beyond that, I think a lot of you must be very curious about how NTU life is like. I've gone on for a really long time about research, about learning, but I promise you it's more than just that. We also have a lot of fun. For me, I was part of my residential hall's table tennis team for a good 2 years or so. I've also gone for a few dinner and dance events, which is actually a chance for people either from hall or from the same clubs in school to gather and have a night of fun and drinks. Seniors also have the chance to participate in organizing events like the freshman orientation program. And in my experience, I was the chief group leader, which meant that I led the different orientation group leaders in making sure freshmen were well adjusted during the program and that they were all getting along well. And at this point, I think one of my highlights in my NTU journey was actually when NTU sent us to University of Warwick for a 2-week overseas learning trip. We got to visit different labs and meet different faculties over there and even explore the Birmingham and London area, and it was a really fun time, kind of like learning on holiday. I think it's quite obvious from what I've shared so far that NTU is a school that really believes in giving its undergraduates ample opportunity to explore and expand their horizons, be it through attachments, overseas trips, or even just within the classroom, because even apart from those events and experiences that stick out, NTU has created a friendly community where you can always expect to make friends everywhere you go. To close off, as a final year student, I am so thankful for everything that NTU has given me, all the opportunities, or even just the chance to meet amazing mentors like Prof. Cho, Prof. Josh, Dr. Bo Kyung, Tunor, Gam, they all know who they are. And I think it's just incredible and completely irreplaceable memories that I've made in NTU. And I believe it's meeting these people and these collective experiences that have paved the way for me to want to pursue research as a future career path. And I'm so proud to call NTU my second home.